We're now joined by number 10 ranked UFC lightweight Diego Pereira, and we'll take our first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Inside Press.
Hello, how are you?
Good, they're good.
So it's good to see you back. I know that it was a little tough to get you back in the cage after January last year. Just what are the emotions? How does it feel to finally be back a few days from a fight?
That's a good question. I feel awesome. It's a blast to be here. My emotion right now it's going to the roof. Like it, it, it's I feel super happy. Because after last year, a lot of things happened. Pandemic. You know, a lot of personal problems I have through my life too, and now just to be here on this car on this event, it feels great. Feel like it's it's incredible.
How do you feel you have changed, and how do you feel Benil has changed since the last fight?
Like for the last fight I see 6 years ago, we improve a lot in our the way we fight, like especially our stand up, our grappling and all the aspect. We did a lot of work, and now I think we're gonna put so different fight because the last time it was a short notice fight. He didn't know who I was. Uh, 2 weeks before the fight, and now we trained for each other. We know the game from each other, and the improvement was so much into both our games. And now I think it's gonna be a totally different fight, and it's gonna be a real fight this time.
I mean, Diego, there's so much going on at lightweight, and with a victory, a lot of people would say you're ready to kind of break into that conversation. I mean, with everything going on, what do you want next if you win?
For right now, I just want to be focused. I want to focus first and Benal Darush, because he's a danger fighter. But I already have a couple of names, on my mind. I want to, get this win first. Focus on Saudi, and after Saudi, after the UFC give me the microphone, I gotta let go, and I wanna see all there on Saudi first. I wanna focus 110% on Saudi, February 6th.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Take our next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey Diego, can you kind of put into words for me the mindset and the physical changes you've undergone since those two losses you experienced to Benil and Dustin Poirier in back-to-back fights? You haven't lost since then. You've gone on this incredible run. What do you feel like has been the biggest difference between those two fights and who you become today?
The biggest difference, what I used to be, what I am now, I was just a totally just a jiu-jitsu fighter. You can see in my last fights, I have you know the heart to go in there and throw punches, but I didn't know how or exactly the timing to throw punch. And now I work on those points, like especially my boxing, my wrestling. You know, uh, uh, is my last two loss. You know, bring a lot to me to be more MMA fighter. I used to be just a jiu-jitsu fighter. Now I'm a mixed martial art fighter because now I work on my wrestling and my boxing, and my jiu-jitsu is still, you know, and still in work. But now I'm a really MMA fighter now. I'm really mixed martial art fighter because I was on the beginning when my first loss to Benel by decision, second loss to Poirier, by TKO. It was really, took a lot out of me, and I started. Uh, uh, I used to take care of my own camp before, like you cannot do that. It's really hard for athlete if you want to get to the level I want to be. You have to be training to somebody. You have to be answer. You have to follow the rules to be on the top, and that's what I changed complete on that. Like now I work with Coach Safe, for the last 4 fights, 6 fights, sorry, 6 fights. And it just made me a better fighter, like especially my wrestling coach, my Muay Thai coach, my boxing coach. I put the work. I put the 110% on that, and now it's gonna be the difference on that.
Absolutely. You got the big win over Anthony Pettis, which was such a statement for you to beat a former champion. You break into that top 10. And I know at that point you wanted, higher ranked opponents. Now I know based on the current rankings, Beneil is behind you, but is there a certain satisfaction getting this fight just because it is a chance to avenge a past loss?
For sure, like I'm treated like a normal, like another fight, like it's a year I've been waiting for this moment, to step in on the octagon again, and now having a rematch with somebody where it beat me, it just I take like a just another fight, but it's push you to another level, it make you more smart, make you work on exactly what you need to work. Yeah, he's under me, yeah, but I don't take him. He's really been on a rank. He's a high level fighter, and I think this is a different step for me. It's a good step to make sure I deserve to be on the top 10, and that's what I'm looking right now. I'm looking like to get through this fight and reach it for the top 5.
Absolutely. And I know you said you're not looking past Beneil. You have a couple ideas in mind to who you want next, but I know that there, has been a little bit of frustration from some of the guys ranked where you're at, that we have these top 4 or 5 guys, they're all kind of fighting each other, and it kind of takes away the ability of a guy like yourself to kind of crack into that top 5. Is there any frustration with that? Would you like to see the matchmakers maybe mix things up a little bit, maybe after this fight, to give you a Justin Gaethje or one of those guys, so we don't, so you actually have the opportunity to get in that top 5? Because it just feels like a lot of times those opportunities just aren't there.
Yeah, I'm really looking for a big fight. Like anybody else can look for a big fight, but right now, my focus is on the Beneil. The way you're saying, I want to get to the big fights. The lightweight division. It's been, all those guys fighting on each other on the top. Some have a 2 loss, some have a loss already. I don't know how they're gonna do, but for me, I'm looking to get there, and I think passing through the Rouge will have another fight for me. I'll be satisfied with that, because I want to be there too. I want to be with the big sharks, I want to, fighting for the piece of gold, and I gotta get there. I think 1 or 2 more fights. I really think like very soon I'll be on the top 5.
Last one for me, Diego. With Khabib retired, we need to crown a new champion, it seems like. In your opinion, who do you think should be fighting for the title? If you were playing matchmaker, should it be Dustin Poirier and somebody else? Who do you believe should be fighting for the title next?
You cannot, like, I think for me is Poirier and Oliveira. They need to fight for the title. I think those 2 guys been so much active on the division. You cannot take in this for both. And for me, on my opinion, those 2 guys need to be fighting for the title if Khabib really get out.
Thank you, Diego.
Thank you.
That's all we have for you today, Diego. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Great. Thank you.
Up next, we'll be joined by number 2 ranked UFC